And that is Nightly News for this Monday. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adaling Ifano program. Apply at Matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime. The Guam Police Department holds a press conference confirming that an arrest has been made in a homicide that occurred last year. Plus, education officials addressing a riot at Season High School that left 2 school staff members injured, as one concerned parent calls for an end to school violence.
An invasive species with a painful sting recently discovered at the Mazo Reservoir here and at Sigua Falls. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with what the community should watch out for. Homicide case, but also the arrest of the suspect. As KUAM reported, it was on November 1st when officers from the Didido precinct responded to a report of a burning body along Hawaii Road, also known as
The body was not
FAA
immediately
Road.
Identified due to severe burns, and detectives observed that the body was bound at the hands and feet.
Ignacio also noting that the victim was possibly burned while he was still alive. On November 8, detectives released images of the victim's tattoos in hopes family members would come forward.
Several family members and known acquaintances came forth to identify the tattoos as belonging to Charles Richard Lacey.
Detectives connected him to a missing persons complaint filed on November 5th by Charles's roommate. According to Ignacio, Lacey was last seen leaving his Totu residence in his black sedan on October 31st. Detectives recovered his vehicle's unattended beachside in Nassau.
Evidence, witness interviews, and surveillance footage, which helped identify the suspect as Jesse Rick San Agustin.
San Agustin, at the time of the press conference, was still being interviewed by detectives, but Ignacio did confirm that he will be charged for aggravated murder, conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, kidnapping, arson, aggravated assault, and destruction of evidence. We should note that San Agustin has a violent criminal record. Now to education news. Tensions flared at Monday night's town hall on education meeting after a parent revealed a riot at a public high school that KUAM later verified left 2 staff members injured. The incident prompting the question, what's being done to stop school violence?
For curriculum and instruction.
I understand.
Tensions erupting Monday night at an education town hall meeting at Okadu High School, with calls for more attention on student safety on the heels of a recent riot breaking out at Season High School.
Promise me that you are going to take care of the children and not let them get hurt. Stop these violence that's happening at the schools.
The incident, which took place on April 3rd, leaving 2 school staff members injured. Officials with the Guam Department of Education confirming that one staffer was struck multiple times, while the other was knocked into a gutter, temporarily losing consciousness. That staff member needed 3 weeks to recover from arm bruising and swelling. The violent scene bringing GDOE and the Guam Police Department's School Resource Officer program into sharp focus for Alina Garcia, a grandparent of a Tizan High Titan. Garcia even claiming her grandchild witnessed an SRO encouraging students to keep fighting during the chaos.
It's so embarrassing that you have SRLs that tell us to go ahead and fight. It's ridiculous.
However, Chris Anderson, student support administrator with GDOE, confirming with KUAM that the SRO assigned to Tizan High was on leave, meaning there was no SRO present during the fight. He adds an officer assigned to George Washington eventually responded to the incident, which was resolved upon their arrival. Anderson further clarifying that SROs are not responsible for student safety or school security, but are tasked to respond to criminal violations, as the schools are responsible for addressing discipline issues.
Again, no excuses, ma'am, but we have very specific protocols when it comes to student discipline. Zero tolerance for fighting, rioting, drug possession.
It's a point only underscoring Garcia's reasoning for bringing up the issue.
All GDOEs are responsible. They need to get off their I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that, but this has got to stop.
Meantime, former Oversight Chair on Education, Senator Chris Barnett, says in the last budget, he was able to secure the funds for the current SRO program. As an attempt to appropriate $2 million for school security cameras failed to garner enough support.
Supporting staff are moving towards a lot of mental health.
And in other news, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has dismissed Guam Attorney General Doug Moylan's appeal to reinstate the 1990 law banning abortion on the island. The ban, which makes no exceptions for incest or rape, was initially denied by the Guam District Court in March 2023. Separately, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero filed action in the Guam Supreme Court to determine if the ban was repealed by subsequent laws. In October 2023, they ruled that it had. AG Moylan then filing another petition to the U.S. Supreme Court requesting review of the Guam court's decision. It was also denied in October 2024. Despite these prior outcomes, AG Moylan has continued his appeal to the Ninth Circuit, hiring off-island attorneys under a contract worth more than $1 million, according to Adelup. The Ninth Circuit has now dismissed the appeal as moot, citing the Guam Supreme Court's ruling. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero saying this decision, quote, ensures that the power to make important medical decisions regarding reproductive health care remains with the people who know what is best for every individual's circumstances, the women themselves, their families, and their doctors. Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
For 25 years, Cars Plus has been more than just a place to buy a car. When we opened our doors, our mission was clear: build lasting relationships and ensure every customer drives away with confidence. As a family business, we nurture our employees, passing down values of integrity and respect. We believe that strong values create strong relationships, ensuring that every customer who walks through our doors is treated like family. For 25 years, we've been driven by you and will continue to be for generations to come.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
Bye. I wish they could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon?
Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what-ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, little fire ants have made its way to 2 popular hiking spots and protected reservoir. These tiny invasive ants with a painful sting are posing a risk to families and our ecology. Mitsuki Hirayama has more on what the community should watch out for.
The technology to have us see it in real world is amazing.
Ants so tiny you need to zoom in several times on a cell phone camera to see them clearly, and aptly named the little fire ant. It's a serious invasive threat that continues to spread since they were first introduced to Guam in 2011. Recently, it's been spotted at the Mosso Reservoir Nature Park in Pidi and at Sequel Falls in Zotnia, posing a risk to families. State entomologist Christopher Rosario says the Department of Agriculture was surveying the Mosso Reservoir last October when they were greeted with a hidden pest.
We are on our second treatment. We wanted to figure out where was the high infestation, and really it's in the public area, in the area where people come rest or people and of course where the green waste debris are dumped.
Green waste debris illegally dumped at the protected area is a huge problem.
If people dump green waste debris in a forested area, chances are you're now potentially infesting a whole forest.
Just like
what you see here. So as you can see, all the green waste material, which was kind of covered previously from KUAM during the Typhoon Mawar recovery efforts, green waste is the biggest transport for little fire ants. If you're facing the falls itself, it's actually on the left-hand side.
One of them met with a nasty surprise after laying on a rock.
He started scratching, and he just felt like this itchy sensation, and he still continued to scratch.
They're not to be mistaken for the more familiar tropical fire ant, which are found in mounds of dirt. Little fire ants are often found in foliage and are significantly smaller, which he says makes them scarier.
Fire ants don't necessarily swarm on you. They fall on you. That's the big difference between them. And the tropical fire ant is much bigger in size, where you can actually see them.
A treatment plan is underway thanks to a $1 million federal grant secured by agriculture. Rosario is working to eradicate the ants in the infested area using an insecticide baited with peanut butter, a recipe he shares for those who may also have them in their backyards.
You're probably using about a tablespoon of that insecticide. But a majority of the mix is like vegetable oil, peanut butter, I'm trying to think of something else. Vegetable oil, peanut butter, water, and so it's to help make the spray, when it goes into a spray bottle, it helps make it more emulsive, less thick.
Meantime, he leaves this message to the community.
They should know that they shouldn't be bringing any green waste material back. If they are, again, like I mentioned, to clean up after themselves, don't leave any trash behind. Again, just be a little bit more aware of your surroundings and what you do pick up.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Well, when every second counts and the trail grows cold, a skilled tracker can mean the difference between capture and escape or life and death. Last week, a group of Guam's finest sharpened those critical skills during an intense tactical tracker training course designed to teach not just how to follow a trail, but how to move as one unstoppable team. Jonah Gancharfaris has more.
A group of officers from across Guam's law enforcement agencies just completed a demanding and highly requested tactical tracker training course. Over the course of one intense week, these officers learned the art and the science of tracking. From fugitive manhunts to search and rescue missions, tactical tracking is a vital tool in the field. Park Police Chief Joey Terlahi was the instructor for the training and explains how the program came to be.
The program actually started when I was working for the Superior Court of Guam, assigned to the Marshals Training and Staff Development Section. At the time, the administrator of the courts, who is the Lieutenant Governor of Guam now, when I made the request to conduct the training, he had always mentioned that to proceed with the training, however, extend the invitation to the other law enforcement agency on our island. His goal was always to have that collaboration and that team building, and in making sure that that when we perform our jobs, we perform it together as a team in the best interest of community safety.
Participants came from the Guam Police Department, Department of Corrections, and Customs and Quarantine Agency, all learning techniques that demand not only physical endurance, but also incredible mental focus. Key skills emphasized during the training: noise discipline, attention to detail, strong communication, and perhaps most importantly, teamwork, rooted in mutual respect.
The biggest takeaway through my observation as the instructor is the team building. Now they're able to perform together in a tactical tracking environment, and they're able to observe the signs left behind by the bad guy, interpret the signs left behind by the bad guy, and eventually working together towards that common goal and making that apprehension.
Tactical tracking is not just a specialized skill, it's a life-saving discipline. And now, thanks to this intensive training, Guam's law enforcement officers are better prepared than ever to protect and serve. Department of Parks and Recreation Deputy Director Warren Pelletier says that training such as this is critical.
Recently, we had the Talafofo incident where they were trying to track throughout the jungle there to locate this individual. And I think this is a prime example of why this is really important.
Training that was made possible by
the governor and the lieutenant governor for their leadership and all their support. I also want to recognize the Department of Parks and Recreation Director, Angel Sablan, and the Deputy Director, Warren Pelletier, for all their support and their guidance.
Jonigan Charfres, KUAM News.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a look at Taikenko Beach in Malesu.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Leaving my phone and bush cutter outside. It's gonna happen. Ooh. Yep. Oh, take it. Come on, bro. It's free. Bro. Yo. Bro. Bro. Just take it.
Looking to ditch your old phone?
Take it.
Trade into Guam's most reliable network and get an extra $300 off the latest phones on any unlimited plan. GTA. We start with you.
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with 6 new collectibles in a Minecraft movie meal.
Welcome back, Guam.
We're at the 4th meet of the high school track season.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Go on a journey to discover true health and wellness. At the Medical City, we bring you expert care, cutting-edge treatments, and personalized wellness programs. From wellness checkups to relaxation retreats, nurture your well-being in a place of healing. Explore the Philippines. Experience the Medical City.
Hafaday, my name is Glenn Takai, and this is my wife Marcela Takai, and we're the owners of Uggan Takai Farms. And on our farm, we try to do our best to farm responsibly, and we do it through using conservation practices.
Some of the conservation practices that we get to use are composting, mulching, making sure that our drip irrigation is good, and also getting our soils tested so we know what nutrients to put in. These things help preserve our soils, and preserving our soils and keeping it strong is really important for our future generations to come.
Happy Soil and Water Stewardship Week.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. Harvest Ministries, which includes Harvest Baptist Church, Harvest Christian Academy, and Harvest House, teaches young people to be stewards of their community and to develop a heart for God. One of the school's student clubs, the Future Business Leaders of America, recently collected donations to help Harvest House, showing responsibility to provide for Guam's foster children.
It's a crisis, and we have to get the word out that these foster children need a safe place to reside, and that these funds go directly toward opening our doors, then allowing them to have that mission from the very first day of crisis all the way till reunification or adoption. We're going to do those 5 amazing objectives that we do all the time. We're going to clothe these kids. We're going to give them physical goods. That first day, that emergency triage center, we're going to open our doors and say you're loved and cared for on that very first day.
The sheer number of kids that need permanent loving homes locally is astonishing, and the outpouring of concern and monetary support is already going a long way.
Buying toothpaste and shoes and all the things that, you know, all of our kids need, these kids need it too. And we're over 700 kids now that are in the foster care system. So those prices do add up, as you were saying, and just buying those essentials is a great use of what we're going to do with this money, but also going a step above, because we really do believe that they deserve something special and to have nice things and to just give them the physical goods as a sign of love, but also as a chance to, as Bethany said, take care of them emotionally and spiritually.
Because it's teenagers that are giving it to us, that I can show that anyone can help. So not just adults or older people, even kids can come in and help us around.
It's kids taking care of their peers, essentially.
Yes, yeah, that's so cool.
The students led from the front and believed in the cause and gave it their all, raising spirits and raising a new record for collected funds.
Originally, our goal for this year that we placed was $20,000, which is a big step, knowing that, you know, we're 16-year-old at the time when we planned this goal. And I still remember sitting in your office and you're like, oh, do you think we can do it? We can do it. So today I would like to present this check of $21,321.
The club has proven they're living up to their namesake, are a credit to their school, and are honoring the principles of their faith.
I would also like to recognize the members of this club. One of the biggest clubs at Harvest, and you guys all have shown your support and initiative and just passion for business. And without each and every one of you guys, this really would not have been possible. So thank you guys all so much.
The very first year they started out, they donated $2,500 to us, and it was enough to fulfill our mission then. And now, this many years later, in 2025, they're donating over $20,000 to us, and you can just say, hey, it goes to show that year by year, after all these years, you guys still matter. Not only Harvest House, yeah, it's the kids that matter, right? In the end, they realize who we're giving to, and it matters to them. They say, we're gonna stand up for those kinds of kids. We see you, we know you, we're gonna defend the fatherless. And so we're gonna raise the monies to make this thing happen every day.
These girls standing right beside me has always stayed enthusiastic, optimistic towards everything. And I'm just so proud, sincerely, from each and every one of you guys for showing your leadership to your underclassmen and to yourself. Because you guys, I hope you feel proud of yourselves too, as proud as I feel towards you guys. And I hope that next year you guys can do something as great as this.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Okay, everybody, the Guam Symphony Society is pleased to announce, wait, what am I saying? They are super, super stoked. I've interviewed Steve Bednarczyk from the Guam Symphony Society, and all the players are really, really excited to bring you this amazing 58th season finale concert, and it's all about Tchaikovsky, right? Swan Lake, the Nutcracker, 1812 Overture. Make sure to check it out. There are discounts if you are a senior, military, or kids, or if you're a student. So please make sure to go check it out. These incredibly talented players are going to put on an hour concert. It's on a Sunday, so go to Mass, get something to eat at one of the malls, and then head over there and check out an amazing show. All right, University of Guam has exciting research opportunities if you are numerically inclined. If you like math, make sure to go check it out, because you can be a research assistant doing really, really good work in STEM, all right? If you're an undergrad, this is exceptional. Get ahead, because this is the future. If you're into AI, this is where it all starts, right? You're doing it from scratch. All right, and St. Anthony's Catholic School over in Tamuning, all right? They're having Raider Day. It's gonna be at the mall. It's gonna be this weekend, and the Tamuning School from 2 to 4 p.m. is going to put exhibits of all their amazing programs, all right? Their choir, Starlight show. My goddaughter performed in Starlight way back, and it was an amazing show, right? The dance club, so many amazing programs there at St. Anthony's, and they got a really, really good sports program, so you know I'm all about that. All right, that's your news, guys.
Okay, everybody, first off, happy birthday to Chanel Venus. Happy birthday, it says here, to Guam's #1. Hey, all right. It's always awesome to be Guam's #1. And Chanel, we wish you a absolutely perfect birthday today. And this birthday shout out came from me. Happy birthday to Zoom that turned 14 today. Really? How many of us were using Zoom for like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day a few years ago and everything? Zoom, happy birthday to you. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your Primetime Show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Langus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
Hello and Hafa Guam. I'm Jason Salas with KUAM. Welcome to another episode of Health, Home, and Lifestyle, where we show you how to live a healthy and happy island life. Here's what we have for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
We are coming back at you like we never left, and we love bringing you information, everybody. This is House to Home. Liz is there, I'm here, Gina's there, and we have a dear friend of ours who has not been on the show in a few minutes, but Kim Anderson from Security Title is here. Kim, how good it is to see you.
Great to see you. Great to be back.
All right. And I know that room in which you are situated very, very well. That is the Guam Hilton Business Center. Very, very nice.
Yes. I ducked out over here and it's quiet. Yeah. Oh. No mysteries here.
Okay, so Liz and Gina, I know we had Kim on for her expertise, for her hospitality, you know, just for the education she always provides to us and everything like that. But there are educational opportunities for your neck of the woods that have been going on, and Kim's going to get us up to speed on those, right?
Yes, Kim brought in Glenn Roberts, and he spoke to the Realtor Group yesterday, and he talked about the different deeds, title, the importance of title insurance and why you should have it, and also the reasons what happens when you don't have it. And it was actually the class was supposed to be 2 hours, ended up being 3 hours because the last tail end he extended the class because he had examples, cases where people were up the kazoo in terms of a particular case when either the title insurance covered it or did not cover it. And it was really, I think that was kind of like the highlight, Kim, yesterday, the tail end of the class where all these
Kim,
examples came up.
Yeah, Kim, this is your wheelhouse, your passion, your domain, and everything like that. So if you would get us up to speed, and how much has changed in the world of title operations?
Well, that's a lot. What Liz was talking about, the fascinating part are like the horror stories, everything that can go wrong, and they are basically just putting your toe in the water. We don't know half of what can go wrong. But Glenn is an attorney. He's a senior underwriter with Stewart Title, and he has a background as a title agent. So he worked with realtors for many, many years before he joined Stewart Title as underwriting counsel. So he's got a wealth of knowledge. And what he did was he kind of walked all of us through what an owner's policy is and what it's not. There's basically two different types of title insurance policies. One insures the lender, and it guarantees the lender that their loan is in first lien position, but it doesn't guarantee the buyer anything. So if the buyer wants any sort of a guarantee or any sort of a coverage, guarantee that they actually own the property that they think they just bought, they need to get an owner's title insurance policy. And then toward the end, a really interesting, but I think very significant part of what the owner's policy covers is that it covers it carries what's called a duty of defense. So if somebody comes along, you buy a house and somebody comes along and say there's a judgment, or say the spouse didn't sign, or say there was a fraudulent deed in the chain of title, or there's a mortgage still on the property that was not satisfied, or there's any number of things that could have happened. The probably the most expensive thing that the title insurance policy takes on is hiring counsel to protect you and to protect your rights to the property. And then if it turns this superior claim actually owns the property and that it was a fraudulent conveyance to you, then the title insurance policy makes you whole again.
Well, Gina, how often do situations of this nature tend to bubble up?
You'd be shocked. But Kim, can I ask you, when you say makes you whole again, can you tell us what that means?
Basically, what a title insurance policy is, it guarantees you the investment that you've put into buying your house or the property that you've purchased. So if you buy a property for $100,000 and then you build a fourplex on it, in the process of buying that fourplex, you might get bank financing that to build, and then at the end of it, you might have a total investment of like $500,000. You'll want to increase your title policy from the $100,000 of buying the land to the $500,000, which is your total investment in the property. Because if you were to lose that property, that's the amount that the title insurance company would, if they were not successful in their defense, they would reimburse you. So the idea is it's
give us back our money,
guaranteeing against loss.
Okay, all right. So Jace, your question is, how often does this come up? In my work listing properties and in my work selling properties, I come up with an issue on almost every single title report. I even had, and it's happened to me twice already. So my thing is, I always get title insurance, even when I refinance, which hurts because it's like, I already have title insurance on this. Why do I need to pay for another one? But
that's interesting.
And Kim knows because I've gone whining and crying to her. Kim, I bought this 3 times. Yeah, you have to buy it again.
Okay, wait. If we can, ladies, I'd like to explore that space a little bit more, because so if you do in fact refinance a loan that you've already got, you have to take an additional title policy on the refinancing, right?
Well,
so if I can
yeah.
clarify,
Sure.
when you purchase a property and you buy an owner's title insurance policy, that owner's title insurance policy is a one-time cost, and you pay that fee at the time that you purchase the property. When if you sell the property, it's the idea is you no longer own it, therefore you don't have any liability. However, if I buy a piece of property and I sell it to Gina, and Gina says, Kim, I know you really well, I'm sure there's no title problems on it, so I'm not going to buy title insurance. And then Gina gets the house, moves in, goes on her merry way. And then there's a challenge to a probate that happened before my ownership, that if I still owned it, I would be covered. So they tell Gina, get out of the house, it's ours. Gina sues me. That title insurance policy will still cover me, even though I no longer own it. So it covers me regardless of any attack on the title.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Liz and I are constantly doing stuff with our real estate, so we're constantly updating it. We're constantly looking at our title report because we're constantly doing things. And on 3 separate occasions with 3 different properties, bills came up that the escrow company did not catch when they initially did their research, because the government of Guam, sometimes they're backlogged in logging in their information. Sometimes it's piled up somewhere and eventually they'll get to it. And then eventually it's public record because now they've recorded it, or I don't know what the excuse is, but I really, I get title insurance policy because that is just my nature, to have insurance to cover my life, my home, my car, my title. That is my nature. And I can tell you for a fact, it's come up 3 times on properties I've bought. And I've gone to the title company and I've said, hey, I need somebody to help me out. Either I just needed it paid, and they did. They actually paid it for me. Or this is so complicated, even I don't even know where to begin, guys. What do we do? And so, yeah, the title company stepped in and said, yeah, this is pretty messy. We're going to have to really spend some time doing it. And I think the last one, it probably took a year for the title company to figure out how to remove these liens that did not show up on my title policy, on my title report at all when I purchased. And it took them about a year, but they put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, I'm sure. And they came back to me and said, okay, we've removed them. We're ready to move forward. So yeah, I mean, that's why I do it. I do it for peace of mind.
Kim, what is the most common question that people ask of you?
Well, Gina just reminded me in our meeting yesterday, one of the realtors brought up a really, really interesting point, and she said, if I have a clean title report, why do I need to buy a title policy? And the answer is basically you have no coverage on a clean title report. And a clean title report is our it's a business decision that's made uh, by the people doing the searching. And if we miss something, or if something just comes up later that was never a part of the public record in the past, it's always something new or something surprising. The stuff that you know about won't bite you. It's the stuff you don't know about that bites you.
Liz, is it possible to know all that there is?
But Jason, it's
Yes,
like
ma'am.
a typhoon. You don't know when it's going to hit, but you know
There you
it'll
go.
hit sometime.
So again, uncertainty.
That's right. And you could buy a piece of property, and let's say it's a probate case, and then someone comes out and says, well, I was never notified, I'm an heir. And then that puts a cloud on the ownership of your property. And that's when you should pull out your title insurance and say, hey, help me.
Defend me. Yeah.
Defend me, because they want my property, which I bought through a probate process, but some heir shows up and says, I was never notified. I am a bona fide heir. Here are my documents. Again, this is where the title insurance steps in. I think yesterday they talked about a subdivision here on Guam where there were like 6 houses in a row and someone bought it. Everything in order. The buyer didn't bother to do a survey because they had 6 houses in a row. They were all fenced up. Everything looked terrific. They bought it. And then later they found that all the boundary points down the line were not in accordance to the survey. And so what helped them get through it, I think there were 2 side by side. One had title insurance and they were defended. The other one did not and ended up spending what, $12,000?
Yeah, the $12,000 was just on legal fees. And then they had a pretty big loss because they lost some of their property to the neighboring lot. And then here's the interesting thing, that those people were told by their lender that they didn't need an owner's policy because the lender had one. So they were not covered, and they were both professionals and did not want to lose their credit rating. So they basically continued paying their mortgage, even though they had to pay an attorney to walk them through it. They had to take a cut in the value of their home because the property value was smaller. So there was less property. And when they left and they moved to the mainland, they both said that they would not buy a property without title insurance again. It was a very unfortunate learning experience for all of us.
Okay, final question, because this is fascinating. I know, Kim, you got to go. You got people waiting for you in there. And by the way, Hilton's got really, really good baked goods, so I hope you try one of their cookies on the way out. Where do you guys see, and this is kind of a trivial question, but when it comes to the actual physical policy, right? The lien, the mortgage statement, the insurance document, where do you see like a lot of people actually storing those? Do they put it in a safety deposit box? Do they have a safe in their house?
Electronically is the best place now for just about everything. You don't need an original. I would say electronically.
What about you, Gina?
I would do both. I'd have it electronic, and then John keeps a binder of all the legal documents in place, so for easy reference. But if the power goes out, my computer dies, or even my phone dies, I have something I could go to.
And knowing Gina as well as I do, Gina, you probably have got them in triplicate in your car, right?
No, Jason, you know what? I messed up. I used to store them in those filing boxes that the accounting people use.
Oh, the banker's boxes?
Yeah, I used to have stacks of, my documents, copies of my tax records, and all kinds of documents in those boxes. And when we had that typhoon, my whole office was flooded.
Oh.
You know, this is the craziest thing. I saved brochures from subdivisions, you know, from old, I saved all that in my filing cabinet. To me, those were important. But all of my personal records were in boxes stacked up underneath my desk or on the floor. It was flooded. So I think I agree with Kim. I'm going to have a digital copy, and from now on, maybe keep those in so I bought airtight containers, and I'm going to start putting them in there as well.
PDFs are a modern miracle. But you know what? Over at Security Title, my friends Kim and her staff over there have a wonderful filing system. They got these big flat files. I'm just giving myself an excuse so we can do our next episode one of these days at Kim's incredible office, that wonderful office in Tamuning, and an amazing structure. It's one of the best on Guam.
Hey, Kim, can we at the next show at your office and probably talk about cases? I think that would be great for people to hear the different, because we went over a number of cases yesterday, which I found interesting. And then even about trust documents, if you transfer properties from your name into a trust, how is that affected? So can we do episode 2 next week?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay. It's a wonderful trip. Guys, make sure to watch next week because Kim's office is absolutely incredible. And you get to spend time with Kim and just her treasure trove of knowledge that she and her staff can pass along to you. So thank you so much, Kim. It's been very good to see you.
You're too kind. Thank you very much for allowing me to join you.
I speak the truth. All right. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Ah, thanks, Taco Bell!
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hafaday, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. This Thursday, May 1st, we are kicking off Women's Health Month with the M Factor, Menopause and Me. Please join us this Thursday for the screening and post panel of doctors and women experiencing this stage in life. Menopause is a silent epidemic that affects the health and well-being of millions of American women. In addition to experiencing traumatic physical symptoms, women are struggling with the related stresses of billions of dollars in lost wages, unpended careers, family disruptions, and emotional chaos. This film confronts this neglected crisis, challenges societal and medical shortcomings, and advocates for a revolutionary approach to women's health in America. This film is brought to you by best-selling author and advocate Tamsin Fadal, among other producers. Thank you for joining me. I hope we see you this Thursday. And a special thanks to our sponsors, Calvo's Insurance and Docomo Pacific.
Menopause is the one universal female experience. If you are born with ovaries, you will be menopausal.
I didn't notice the menopause stuff happening. I felt like an angry person, and I'm not an angry person.
Menopause certainly changes your brain.
The generation going through menopause now, they're not going to suffer in silence.
KUAM Communications and Synergy Studios Guam invite you to watch the critically acclaimed documentary, The M Factor. Join us for this special screening and interactive panel discussion on May 1st at 5:00 p.m. at the Guam Museum. Grab your girlfriends, partners, sisters, mothers, and anyone who'd like to shred the silence on perimenopause and menopause. To make reservations, email promotions@kuam.com today. Seats are limited. Special thanks to Calvo's Insurance and Docomo Pacific Business.
I'm a board-certified OBGYN at an accredited program in this country. I got less than a month of training of menopause.
Actually, the idea that menopause puts a woman at a disadvantage has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with culture and medical history.
They called a press conference. No one was allowed to read the study. It wasn't even published yet, and said estrogen causes breast cancer. And that's just not what the data supports.
Women were upset. They called the office. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe you gave me this stuff and it's gonna kill me and give me breast cancer. So we were all caught flat-footed.
I felt myself drawing into yourself and away from everyone.
And so I lost a lot of the confidence in the one thing that I knew how to do. If I can't ad-lib, if I can't read the teleprompter and the words that are in front of me, I can't be a journalist.
Then you get like heart fluctuations. And I thought, okay, it's just that I'm having a panic attack. So then that messes with your mental psyche.
Night sweats, insomnia,
weight gain,
urinary tract infections, urinary incontinence,
joint aches, depression, anxiety,
dry skin,
vaginal dryness,
painful sex,
the brain fog,
loss of libido.
Hot flashes are the tip of the iceberg.
You can't lump menopause into one basket for all races, ethnicities.
When we say that Black women experience menopause differently than their white counterparts, it's not because there's something physiologically different from us. There is something different culturally.
It's a profound hormone shift, but we've done this before. We do this every month with periods. We do this with pregnancy. We do this with puberty.
I guarantee you there's a Nobel Prize for the person that can figure this out.
We all know that if women are not doing great, society falls apart.
KUAM Communications and Synergy Studios Guam invite you to watch the critically acclaimed documentary, The M Factor. Join us for this special screening and interactive panel discussion on May 1st at 5 o'clock p.m. at the Guam Museum. Grab your girlfriends, partners, sisters, mothers, and anyone who'd like to shred the silence on perimenopause and menopause. To make reservations, email promotions@kuam.com today. Seats are limited. Special thanks to Calvo's Insurance and Docomo Pacific Business.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
At the heart of Guam, there's one place where everyone comes together. Kmart, your American superstore, celebrating 30 years with you. To our brave service members, enjoy a special military discount every day as our thanks. To our local community, we've grown with you, bringing trusted brands at prices you love. This season, celebrate with us. From fiestas to family gatherings, we're your one-stop shop. Since 1995, we've grown with you. Here's to 30 years of memories, savings, and the spirit of Guam. Kmart, where everyone is family.
In here, you can expect to find crystal clear audio, expansive display space, endless entertainment, and more comfort for everyone. But even with all that, we still left room for all the unpredictability, spontaneity, and unexpected things you'll find out here. The new 2024 Grand Cherokee lineup. Jeep, there's only one.
With just a 9-month age difference, Claire and I have braved every age and stage together. And though our lifestyles and routines have taken different turns over time, we realize that one common topic dominates almost every conversation for the past few years. The hot topic is menopause.
It felt like it came out of nowhere, and I didn't really know it was something that was coming.
Right.
And then, it's just that type of thing that you talk about. And I feel like it's kind of like that with our friends too. It's like they're like, oh, really? And then the next conversation we have, you're sharing symptoms, and then we're both just commiserating and trying to figure out what, how to deal with this.
Yeah.
Having no playbook.
I didn't realize until just like this past year when we got together for your birthday, for your 50th, and we were like, oh my gosh.
It dominated the conversation.
Yeah, and even like the husbands and the boyfriends were like, oh my God, here we go again, talking about perimenopause.
Women in perimenopause and menopause may experience a variety of symptoms which we are all too familiar with, including hot flashes, night sweats, mood changes, and sleep disturbances. In some cases, women may also experience mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. These various symptoms are the result of the body undergoing significant hormonal changes, particularly a decrease in estrogen and progesterone levels. Some of us may experience them for just a few months, while others may endure them for several years. Menopause can also have long-term health implications, including an increase in the risk of osteoporosis and cardiovascular diseases.
Risk for dementia, risk for heart disease, risk for like diabetes, all those numbers go up around this age. And no one told us that, oh, that has to do with the fact that your estrogen levels dropped. Like, I never knew that before. Like, inflammation goes up, cortisol goes up, like, what?
And you just know when, I know we've been through our own, like personally, we've both been through health challenges. We both have totally different lifestyles. I actually wish I was more like you are like a fitness queen.
You still go running every day. What are you talking about?
Honestly, like I'm, moderate. I hang in the balance. I've kind of been a yo-yoer my whole life, but in this phase, it's hard to describe. You just know things are different.
Friends, colleagues, and other women in our networks have also shared their experiences with perimenopause and menopause, leading us to recognize that we are the generation who is breaking the silence, realizing we're all in this together. We want to shred the silence and break the stigma that has surrounded this very important change so that we can collectively be healthier, be informed, and more equipped and empowered to manage menopause.
The wonderful thing that's happening now is that I think that we're starting to build community, which is where this comes in, right? And so, I guess, long story short, we talk about this all the time. This film was recommended. It wasn't broadcast on Guam. Right. You did some research, went down the rabbit hole, as they say on Google, and I
told them my story. I'm like, I'm going through all these things. Can we please get a copy?
Yeah, and you were able to secure the license. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, let's take this and let's share it with our community, and build that community. And I think we're learning more just in putting this together, this small event, that there are so many people who are also experiencing what we're experiencing.
And it's important on so many levels with physical health, but I was just reading recently that depression and suicide rates among women are highest in that 45 to 55 range. No coincidence, I don't think, that, that's when your hormones really start shifting. So yeah, I think I'm so glad we got together to do this because it's so important on so many levels.
We are inviting you to join us this Thursday at the Guam Museum for a screening of the documentary of the M Factor and panel discussion with Dr. Sam Sung, Dr. Keith Horinucci, and other women in our community to share their personal experiences with this change. Please email promotions@kuam.com to reserve your spot for this special screening.
We both kind of thought about our mothers and our grandmothers and how we didn't know anything about this.
It wasn't spoken about,
You hear about puberty, you hear about all these different pregnancy, you get all these tips or whatever. You never get advice, or at least, with us and with many in our generation.
Yeah.
So, I personally think that we're the generation we're going to change, and we're going to embrace this change and normalize the conversation around this.
Celebrate this new stage and phase of womanhood, because honestly, you think about it, it is such a blessing that we are growing into this new phase. Not everyone is afforded that opportunity to live, to our midlife. So it is definitely something to celebrate, and also to learn how to work through it comfortably. and not, not feeling like, oh gosh, this is just part of it. I'm just going to have to grin and bear it. And that's the thing. We're not the grin and bear it generation. We're like, okay, let's go see how we can make this something that's a little more tolerable and not have to unnecessarily suffer.
That's going to do it for Health, Home, and Lifestyle this week, everybody. Please be safe and live healthy.